Welcome one and all on behalf of Team Legal Speak webinar. I welcome Mr. Dr. Meenakshi Sundaram, Senior Advocate High Court, who is going to present today's webinar on implications of patent law in developing countries. He is having a vast experience, more than 40 years in this field. Also, he is having a tax and allied subjects. He is a very good experience. Also, he is mainly connected to direct tax practice. Apart from the practice, he is also a guest lecturer in Madras University, Anna University, also Ambedkar University. We are deeply, we are in our, today we are welcoming our Dr. R. Meenakshi Sundaram to take out this topic and give a presentation. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mudimanan. I thank the organizer, Mr. Jayakumar Mr. Mudimanan, and I am grateful to all the people who are present here and giving the second opportunity to present my small thought on the implication of patent law. The reason why I chosen the implication of patent law is for the reason that in the past 20 years, there is a lot of things that are happening in the medical field, which many people are either opposing or supporting on the simple ground that if you want to live, you will have to pay. Unless you pay money, you will not get best treatment. With these two conditions, they are proceeding. Either they are accusing the hospital and the doctors or to curse themselves that they are not able to money and live. For all these things are behind the patent law that was introduced in the year 1995, and it came into effect fully in 2005, which changed the entire pharmaceutical sector from one end to another. That is to say that from manufacture of a medicine through process patent to product patent. With this small change in the Patent Act, the entire scenario on patent law is changed, and we are facing the present law. Therefore, I chosen this topic to say that the implication of patent law with particular reference to the amendment that is happened in compliance to the international treaty, which gave rise to the establishment of World Trade Organization that happened in 1195. To start with, I will explain as to how a patent is to be obtained. It is not easy to obtain a patent in respect of an invention, especially in India. Even in other countries, to some extent, I will say with respect that it is easy to get a patent. But as far as India is concerned, it is very, very difficult to obtain a patent. And my experience goes that to obtain a patent, it requires at least not less than 3 years. In olden times, when the patent law provides only 7 years with regard to pharmaceutical and 14 years for food and other things, it's so difficult that you obtain the patent. By the time you achieved it, it will be more than 5-6 years. The reason is the law is so strict that the grant of patent is a private right. This private right is accessible against the whole world, against the government, and against the fellow citizens and everybody. Therefore, and it is a statutory right granted by the state. It all depends how the word invention is defined under the law, and that is the criteria for grant of patent. As far as the Indian law is concerned, it is very clear that it not only defines how a patent is to be granted and when an invention is patentable, but also it provides a list of items under Section 3 to say that even if your invention is capable of being patentable, if it is struck under Section 3, then the invention is not patentable. Under Section 3, there are more than 12 to 13 items are enumerated to state that even an invention which is patentable, except in India, cannot be patented in India for the reason that, according to us, if those inventions are recognized as a protectable and grant a private right, it may harm the people at large, both on health and environment. It is with this background only the patent law is enumerated. And one other factor that is to be considered under the Indian law alone is before the grant of patent, the invention is put to public domain for receiving an objection for 1 year, which is not available in other countries. Under Section 25(1) of the Patent Act, which clearly provides that pre-grant opposition. Under the pre-grant opposition, anybody on earth, not necessary that he must live in India, anybody on earth, any person can oppose a grant of patent in respect to invention that is published. And even after the grant of patent, if anybody interested, they can always challenge the patent as long as the patent is in force. With these two things in mind only, the patent law was drafted. And with regard to the definition of invention, you will have to see how widely and restrictive in nature the invention was defined. The first and the foremost condition or prerequisite that is required for an invention is it should be new. When it is say new, it should not be known to anybody. When I say anybody, it is not that a person lives in India or a person happened to pass through India. It should not be known to anybody who lives anywhere in the world. As you all know, WTO involves 130 or 150 countries. Again, United Nations has got some number of countries, and there are countries which may or may not be members of these countries. But with all these things, as far as the grant of patent is concerned, it should not be known to anybody on earth. Nobody should know that the invention that is disclosed for the grant of patent under the application that is filed with the controller of patent in India should not be known. This known is not only about refers to the personal knowledge, but also the books that is available on record. And another extreme thing is the knowledge of the people at large. The people at large who lives anywhere in the world, if somebody claims that I know this invention, then that particular application is liable for scrutiny in the sense that the person who claims knowledge, whether that knowledge is put to use or any community in which that person lives is using that invention, other things is to be considered. Only then the invention will be considered for grant of patent. So the newness or the non-obviousness refers to the whole world, both people's knowledge and written books and the knowledge of the people at large. Only if it passes through all the criteria, then only the newness will be accepted. Then the non-obvious, that it is not known to anybody either in the books or other forms. And the third and the most important category is the usefulness of the invention. It is not mere a knowledge or an invention that is made is sufficient for the grant of patent. It should be used for the purpose of creating a product. It is the knowledge that eligible for patent, but that knowledge should be converted in the form of manufacturing a product. So industrial application is one other criteria. Why I am using the word industrial application is if a person has got a knowledge in drawing a paint and it is capable that it applies that nobody knows, nowhere it is available and other things. If it cannot be used for the people at large or that particular drawings cannot be reproduced number of times, then the usefulness is restricted. Then it will be gone into the classification of artistic and special work, and it will be protected under some other intellectual property right. Therefore, in effect, to grant a patent, the invention or the knowledge to produce a product must not only new, it should not be known to anybody in the world, then it is industrially applicable. Only if these three conditions are satisfied, then that particular invention which gave rise to a product will be eligible for grant of patent. Then the next thing would be why it involves an implication, because once an invention is given a inventor got a negative right. That is here as far as the patent law, the intellectual property law is concerned, as you all aware, it is different from the normal knowledge of property law. That is movable property and immovable property, where the touching the product or seeing the product, enjoyment of the product, all those things are physical in nature. As far as intellectual property is concerned, it is only the application of mind which gave right to a manufacturer of a product. It is that product that would be useful, but it is not the product that is protected, but it is the knowledge that gave rise to a manufacturer alone is protected. It is only under this classification in the 20th and 21st century, intellectual property right become a class or a different category of property right, which gave way to overriding the monopolistic property right which exists so far. Till 20th century, a person is rich or poor according to the movable and immovable property that he holds or possesses or purchased. In 21st century, it is the intellectual knowledge a person possesses by which he is able to make money. It is that intellectual property right that is valued. That is the reason why in recent times, India became one of the important countries in the world because we are intellectually strong and we are capable of manufacturing such a way that the valuable product is the outcome. That is the reason why these three intellectual, that is computer companies and all operating from India, now even the Americans are afraid about facing us with regard to the intellectual category classification is concerned. That is because the intellectual knowledge which we possess, the delivery that we are making by using the intellectual property is invaluable, and that gave rise to a lot of power to us. And therefore, even the developed countries like America are cared about, not about our military strength or not about our potential property value, but about the potential power or knowledge of generating this intellectual property value. It is because of these reasons only that developed countries are looking upon for cooperation with the developing countries like India. At the same time, they are afraid about the growth of developing countries like India and China and other countries. Then with this, why the implication problem arose is the developed countries who are already developed in technological and other areas of development look upon the developing countries that we should not raise and follow in achieving their development in other field of technology also. One important technological development which the developed countries have reached far ahead of us is pharmaceutical sector. Pharmaceutical sector, the developed countries with particular reference to American pharmaceutical sector only. When I am using the word America, I am specifically state that it is not the Americans as a country's development. It is the pharmaceutical sector companies that are located in America are so strong that they are capable of even interfering with the policy decision of the American government. And that is the power they got. The TRIPS and the World Trade Organization, which gave rise to between the years of 1986 to 1995, is the only cause and the force of the pharmaceutical sector that is located in America. The reason is in India, as far as the invention that we are recognizing is process patent only. See, Indian patent law, which reverts back to 1911. Patent and Design Act in India from the year 1911. In those years, we recognize with regard to grant of patent only product. As I told you, it is only the manufacturer of a product that was given product patent, and that alone is protected under the patent law. After the independence, we appointed two judges, one by Dick Chand, a law court judge, next Rajagopal Iyengar from Madras High Court, both the judges were appointed to look into and study the implication or the operation of the patent law in India and suggest ways and means as to how these enactment or the implementation of these enactment will be favorable for the Indian economy or the Indian industry. These two judges or the two committees have recommended to the Government of India that in Patent Act, which prescribe that grant of patent is only in respect of product and not patent process is a cause for non-growth of industrial sector in India. See, I'm giving the example as to what is the product patent and the process patent. Product patent means a product that is manufactured which is used for curing some disease or for some purpose is called a product. That product will solve certain issues. That is called a product patent. Process patent means the method by which you manufacture a product. A combination, suppose 3 combinations are there to manufacture a product. Initially, a person come out with a manufacture of the product with 33% each. 33, 33, 33. Then the product consists of 3 raw material and the end product comes into existence. Under the process patent, another company may say that instead of putting 33, 33, 33, I'll put 30, 40, and 30, and thereby this product will cure on some other diseases. The easy example for me to my knowledge is as far as the painkiller, some people take anacin, some people take Saridon, but many people who got ulcer and all, they will not take either Saridon or anacin. They will take another painkiller tablet for headache. See, all these 3 tablets, even though the purpose of is only to cure the headache, all the 3 tablets has got patent right in India. And that is the reason after independence, the Indian pharmaceutical industries have phenomenal growth and they produce lot of pharmaceutical and manufactured produce medicine which will cure to our needs and the rate is very less. The price of the product or the medicine is very low as far as India is concerned till the year 1995 because the Indian law followed only process patent in manufacturing the product. As I told you little earlier, the developed countries started negotiating under various forums and the 8th round was held at Uruguay wherein all the countries are agreed in principle to develop an international organization which is named as World Trade Organization, which take into account all IPRs which deals with only trade and business. As far as IPR, which is not dealing with trade and business, were continued to be carried on under the World Intellectual Property Organization, an organ of United Nations. But because of the influence of the developed countries, they come out and convince the developing countries that we are not dealing with intellectual property in common, and we are dealing with intellectual property which deals with only trade and that too in respect of priced product. In that way only intellectual property right was taken out from World Intellectual Property Organization, which is already in force under the United Nations concept. So in 1195, the member countries numbering 134, they formed and come into create a new organization called World Trade Organization, under which there are about 7 to 9 agreements were signed with regard to investment, service, and other things. One of the important agreement is trade-related intellectual property right. This is the right which was defined under the TRIPS agreement in such a way that the implementation of the TRIPS agreement should be such that it should not be a barrier for the development of intellectual property right, and it should be for the full force of all the member countries. As I told you a little earlier, the object of TRIPS agreement nowhere mentioned that the object is for the welfare of the developing countries or dissemination of technical knowledge to the people at large. It merely states that if the intellectual property right is implemented, it should be implemented in toto against all people at large, and there is no difference that it is useful for developing countries or not. But the entire discussion center around the concept that dissemination of technical knowledge is a reason for protection of intellectual property rights. Whereas in the object class, it did not mention anything about the how the knowledge will be disseminated by grant of patent, how the knowledge will be used or disseminated to the developing countries and other people at large. In that respect, it is noted that even the municipal law is required to be modified in conformity to the TRIPS provision. This is where I used to say globalization of national law. A national law is supposed to be enacted and implemented after proper discussion by the parliament or the assembly according to the requirement of the law is concerned. But here is a treaty which dictates the terms of the provisions of the law and compel the member countries who are party to the treaty that their municipal law should be such that they should enact their municipal law in such a way that it is in conformity to the TRIPS provision. They add one more feather to say that if you want to tighten your municipal law further to the intellectual TRIPS provision, you can do it, but you can't reduce the protection that is protected under the TRIPS provision. The example is the period of patent under the TRIPS provision is 20 years. If developing countries, while enacting their municipal law, if they want to extend the protection more than 20 years, they can do it in the sense that 25 years they can grant patent. But they have no right to grant the patent less than 20 years, that is to say 15 years or 18 years. The important thing here to note is, as far as the Indian law is concerned, the patent period that is provided before the enactment of the TRIPS provision is pharmaceutical sector we provided only 17 years and food sector we have provided only 14 years. Even as far as the American law is concerned, it provided only 18 years as a cost. Whereas under the TRIPS provision, it suddenly came into being that the period of protection is 20 years. Here, one important thing that is to be noted by all people is how the treaties were negotiated and how the big brothers are negotiating and giving liberty to the developing countries. See, in Doha in 2001, when a meeting was declared for finalizing certain treaties, the developing countries headed by India opposed certain move on the ground that we developing countries are two ways drawback. One is health-wise we are not strong. Another thing is we are poor in finance-wise. Therefore, we can't afford to pay the high price, and therefore we should have enough leverage in the municipal law so that we can amend the law in such a way that if any emergency arose, we should be able to make our laws useful for invoking the provisions of the Patent Act so as to get the medicine that is required to be made for all the people at large. The TRIPS, the negotiating countries, the developed countries did not agree in principle, but however they state that you can incorporate those principles as one of the criteria or principles in enacting the TRIPS provision, but we cannot make it as the object of enacting the TRIPS provision. That is the reason why when you read the TRIPS agreement, you will find that Articles 7 and 8, objective of entering into treaties, and the purpose of benefit of those two, three, only 7 and 8 only will say that in enacting these TRIPS provision, the municipal countries or the individual countries in their municipal law as provides necessary enactment so as to save their country in case of emergency only. In case of emergency and national requirement, the municipal law can be tinkered by individual nations as and when they satisfy the criteria that is put under the TRIPS provision. Only under these two categories, the TRIPS agreement was enacted. That is the reason why if you read the Patent Act in India, you will find that there will not be any provision in respect of these security that is in patent law. It merely says that for the purpose of merely statement of object, the existing Indian Patent and Design Act was enacted into 1911, and since then there have been substantial changes in the political and economic conditions of the country. The need for a comprehensive like that, it is going on. Thereafter, it states that two committees were appointed to look into the patent law, who suggested only the process patent, and accordingly the Patent Act 1970 was enacted. But however, in 1995, when we entered into treaty by establishment of World Trade Organization, thereafter, when we enacted or modified the Patent Act of 1970, in 2005, the last day, that is the 10 years last period, we were not able to incorporate in the preamble the purpose of the enactment. But at the same time, we enacted in the preamble that these enactments were made in compliance to the treaty provisions that is enumerated under TRIPS law. So we were constrained to incorporate in the preamble to the Patent Act of Indian Act that all these amendments were made in compliance to the treaty provision which we agreed in principle. And therefore, the enactment and the amendments were in consonance with the treaty provision. But however, the 7 and 8 TRIPS provision which were made, the Indian Parliament were wise enough that they want to incorporate it in somewhere so that it will be useful at a later point of time if the act is to be enacted for any purpose. Therefore, the government of India took pain and they come out with a new provision, which is a rare. You will not see, since all our lawyers, we will not see the preamble, the object of the act anywhere in the provisions of the act. Only in the preamble we will see it. But this is one of the rare acts where section 83 which provides, that is under the heading working of the patent, compulsory license and revocation. Only under this provision, it says that general principles applicable to working of patent invention. It started saying that without prejudice to the provisions contained this act. In exercising the powers conferred under this chapter, regard shall be had to the following general consideration. You have to consider while enacting or implementing the provisions of the act, or if any dispute or anything arose under the act, you must, while granting the patent or revocation of the patent or granting license, you must consider what are the things that you have to consider. The patent are granted to encourage invention and to secure that invention are worked in India on a commercial scale and to the fullest extent that is reasonably practicable without undue law. If we see under section 83, one of the criteria for grant of patent is the patent is to be worked in India. But in the TRIPS provision and under section 5, we clearly stipulate that grant of patent does not precondition or require that those patents must be worked in India. Therefore, section 83 and the grant of patent and the agreement of TRIPS are to some extent contrary in nature. As far as the working of the grant of patent is concerned, there is no, you can't put a precondition that your patent must work in India. And we've gone one step ahead and state in the act itself that even the requirement of the patent product can be satisfied by importing those products also. So importation is equal to working of the patent in India as far as the grant of patent under the Patent Act. But however, if the necessity arose while working of the patent or grant of compulsory license and revocation of the patent, you can always take into account if somebody put a condition that I need not work in my patent in India at all, because that is the criteria for grant of patent. You can always step in and say, that is the code to say that even though the grant of patent, there is no precondition it should work in India, but the benefit must be accrued. The reason why the patent is granted is those patent is should encourage further invention. Further dissemination of technical knowledge should be to our benefit. And then furthermore, it should be reasonably available in India. Unless these things are coming, then again, that they are not granted merely to enable patentee to enjoy a monopolistic for the importation of patent. So a person who got a patent cannot use the monopolistic right, merely state that I will import the goods and supply it in India, and therefore I fulfill the condition. Like that, number of country provisions are there under section 83 only. All these provisions read together, and it will further empower the patent granted do not in any way prohibit central government in taking measures to protect the public health. The reason why I took the initiative of this lecture to say that the implication of patent is because of these two reasons only. The government of India and the parliament in its wisdom reserved its power, even though granted for patent based on non-working and non-importation is equal to patent. Under section 83, they reserve the power for compulsory licensing and revocation of patent and other things if they found that those monopolistic rights, restrictive in nature, if it is given to somebody, it will work against the interests of the people at large, then the government will step in. This is one of the rare occasions. It's not only the government which can do it, even the controller of patent has got the right. Even the government of India has no right so much to take any action. It has to approach the controller of patent only. And therefore, the controller of patent is vested with the powers under chapter 16, wherein the chapter is heading only working of the patent, but at the same time, the importance and the subsequent legal preliminary and the importance that is going to happen with regard to curing of the epidemic we are facing, that is corona and all. These section 83 alone will come to the help for the people at large in India and the people at large. The reason why is, but for this provision, section 88 which provides compulsory licensing, and section 92 which under grave emergency the government can approach the controller of patent to grant compulsory license to some manufacturing company in India to manufacture the very same product that is patent either in India or abroad. That you can manufacture in India, but to fulfill only to the requirement of people at the territorial license. As I told you earlier also, the grant of patent is always restricted to territorial in nature. As far as many people and many books used to write universal patent and world patent, all those things are misnomer and an extensive way of telling the grant of patent is so important. I can put it clearly that there is no universal, there is no worldwide patent that can be operative or effective. Each patent or invention is to be recognized by individual country, and individual country is to recognize that this particular invention is patentable in our country. Only then those inventions are patentable. But for that, the invention, even though whatever criteria it accepted, it will not be eligible for patent in particular country. With regard to the other next thing is about section 3. Section 3 is very important for India in the sense that it is only section 3 which is very important to state that it provides number of invention even though satisfy all the criteria in all other countries, still they are not eligible for patent in India. The heading itself is called invention not patentable. Under this category, it enumerates under various circumstances, a product may be different. usefulness of a product may be different, but still those inventions will not be eligible for patent. One or two things I will read, then I will read the important provision alone. One is the mere discovery of scientific principle. Merely if you find some principles that this will be very useful for people at large, mean those principles will not be granted patent. Then some new usefulness of the same product. Anacin in America was given patent twice, one for the purpose of headache and another is for dilution of the blood. I was told that two patent was granted in America for that particular purpose. For the India, it will not be granted because it is only the known use of the same substance. So therefore, it will hit under section 3E and 3C and it will not be eligible. And one of the important category that is the outcome of Doha Declaration is with regard to agriculture sector, we were very particular that patents should not be granted just because an invention is granted. And then again, we put that in India, we have using lot of traditional knowledge in local products that is available in plenty. And those products are used as a medicine and therefore no patent should be granted in those products. The glaring example would be turmeric and other things are there. And those are all the reason why we were able to incorporate 3D, an important provision in the patent law, wherein we specifically states that if any of the invention that attract or hit by this provision, you will not be eligible for patent. This one provision alone I will read, only little I will read, because some of the cases that is already decided and in future many of the cases are going to be argued only on this ground, and many those of advocates who are that is practicing in India, Madras will know that this case was argued at length by the Madras High Court, and at the time of delivering the judgment, the entire court, including the judges, were withdrew from the case. I don't want to say anything, but many of the people who are present will know. This case are argued so long, and while the judgment was about to be done, the council on records withdrew from the case, the judges withdrew from the case, and it is one of the rare occasions, to my knowledge, I have seen that a case reached deadline without a judgment and the council withdrew, the judges withdrew. That is because of dealing with section 3D of the Patent Act that deals with the mere discovery of a new form of a known substance which does not result in enhancement of the known efficacy of that substance, or the mere discovery of a new property or a new use for a known substance, or the known process, machine or apparatus unless such known process results in a new product or employs at least one new reactant. For the purpose of this class, salt, esters, ethers, polymers, metabolites, etc. they are given. Why I said these things was on two occasions. One is the popular and everybody knows is about the Novartis case, which deals with a particular product that is manufactured by Novartis, which will cure cancer disease. They first approached the Madras High Court for patent, that is the controller of patent, who refused patent. Then they went up to the intellectual property appellate board. You will be surprised that it was the intellectual property board accepted that there is novelty, there is non-obviousness. Both are satisfied. But the main criteria, that is the application or the usefulness, is hit by section 3D. An invention which is otherwise patentable would not be patented because section 3D of the Patent Act 1970 is in force in India. Therefore, the Novartis took two steps. One, first they challenged the very section 3D, stating that it is ultra-vires and contravention to the provisions of the TRIPS provision. Then they failed. And to my knowledge, I think it is failed or they withdrew the case and they straight away filed the case on merits challenging under Section 132, 136 of the Supreme Court, stating that the efficacy and the substance that is available because of the invention is something new, which is not known, and therefore we are eligible for patent. The Supreme Court, after elaborately hearing the case, has given a finding that there is efficacy that is referred to under Section 3D is merely efficacy, and there is no additional factor that is to be added to say that something new efficacy have come into existence or the efficacy is increased. Because of these reasons, even though new and other things are there, because of the direct provision under the Act, which will not grant patent in those inventions, the patent application was dismissed, and thereafter it ends the matter. Then, with regard to one other classification, which was satisfying at the time of Parliament enacting the law, is the government and the controller has got ample power with regard to grant of compulsory licensing. Because we got power of granting compulsory licensing under Section 92, which provide if a state face any emergency, or they use a different word, emergent circumstances, then the government has got ample power to invoke the emergency provision, like state declaring emergency and other things has got the power. And to my knowledge, many years this particular provision was not used, and excepting in one occasion, again, that is with regard to Bayes Patent Act, that is happened in 2008 only. It is only this case I found Bayes, wherein they found a patent for a drug which is called a Nexavar with regard to kidney cancer. It is in respect of a kidney transfer. This particular patent was granted to Bayer and Company, but this Bayer and Company did not use this product in India, and the availability of the product are very costly, and therefore the government of India for the first time after the enactment of the Patent Act, invoked the emergency provision and provide compulsory license to an Hyderabad company, which is called Nexavar Pharmaceutical in 2012. Only in the year 2012, after having seen that the patent is not worked in India, the goods are not available for all the people at large, and the price is not affordable, and therefore the central government, by invoking the provisions of the state emergent, granted compulsory license in favor of an Hyderabad company, Nexavar, which manufactured the product, and it mentioned that it is the cost of the product that is available in India is a fraction of the amount that is the base cost of this product. These two occasions are the rare occasions where the implication of the implementation of the patent law were felt in India. But according to me, there are many occasions where now the hospital industry or the medical field is so costly. Now I was told that corona treatment required a patient to pay 1 lakh per day. There are people who deposit 12 lakhs, 10 lakhs separately for the purpose of corona treatment alone. The government has not so far invoked many of the provisions of the Act. Then one other concern about me is with regard to the study on this is, now I find in Kerala, we were told that there is corona is not there, everything was eradicated. There is no declared medicine that was available or declared by Kerala or Kerala government. But there are medicine that is available locally were used for eradicating the coronavirus. And in Tamil Nadu, number of private hospitals under the auspices of the government are giving Siddha and Ayurvedic medicine, and they claim that they cured coronavirus and other things. But what is the government that is working on these consolidation of knowledge? What is the consolidation that is happening with regard to these people who are using medicine? That, to my knowledge, I have not come across. And one other company which claimed, the claim alone is to some extent maybe little early. That is a person who claimed that I have found medicine for curing coronavirus. Maybe an excess, but if that medicine is put to use, there is one important provision which, that is a Doga declaration, gave importance is traditional knowledge. As I told you little earlier, turmeric and so many things, ginger and so many other products that are used in Siddha medicine and in household medicine, cure small diseases were not recorded. In this regard, I can say that Government of India has come out with a very big think tank, and they found traditional knowledge digital library, and they converted more than 3,000 traditional knowledge as a medicine form, and they converted more than 30,000 sastra and other slogans which provides for medicine into textile form, so that if anybody claim for protection and medicine with regard to these products, we can always go against them and to state that these are all the traditional knowledge that is available, and now it is documented, and therefore patent cannot be granted. Therefore, my submission to this forum is these knowledge that is talking in every day before various states. Kerala is claiming certain things that they are curing the corona disease. In Tamil Nadu, a number of organizations under the auspices of the government are treating and claiming that they are curing people. At the same time, we find some of the people who are hospitalized died within few days because of corona. All these things are contrary or are not focusing to one particular issue as to what is the disease that is people are suffering, what is the medicine that is given to them, who are all recovered, those who are recovered, what is the type of disease they got, and those who could not be recovered, how, what medicine that is administered, how it didn't work. All these things, to my knowledge and my little knowledge, because I am not very familiar with the science or other things, there is no mechanism that is working or collecting these type of details. If these type of details are collected, and you will find that we are getting reports that Oxford University and other 2-3 universities are on very serious work on the finding medicine for this coronavirus and vaccine. And we may found that, because if a patent is required to be patented, I am telling you, an invention is to be disclosed. The material that is used, the process that is used is to be disclosed to claim which product they are manufactured. In that process, we will come across what is the product that is used, what is the medicine they have used, what is the chemical they have used. If they found all those things, and if those chemical and other things match our traditional knowledge that is documented, or the treatment that we are giving in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and other states, that cure or not cure, but if those things are in use, if those things are enforced by community at large are using, then those people cannot claim patent on those products once again. But at the same time, with the disclosed knowledge, with the available material and raw material that is available with us, and the method that we are using, we can develop and come out with a new method by which definitely we can come out with a medicine which will definitely cure. I don't know what is the type of corona that everybody is talking. Some are dying, some people are curing, and all those things. We can define and describe this is the type of disease. Corona can be variation, and this is the medicine that can be applied, can be done. And India, as a country with a lot of wealth, and the present government which is doing lot of, that is Swadesh movement, and made India to shine and all those things. In pharmaceutical industry also we can come up nicely, and we can do fantastic work, and we be a proud nation to the world at large. Thanks for the opportunity.